Hi, welcome back to Guardian Angel Resin Creations. Today I'm going to create some, I'm going to put some squidgies into resin nightlights for my grandchildren. I'm doing, I think, it's either a whale or a dolphin, and I'm doing a seal. So they've chosen what they want to put in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully try and glue them in with UV resin, and then I'm going to stick the lights in there. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just putting the lights onto my sticks and just making sure that they're going to sit in there. So all I've done is hopefully you can see, I'll just move them out of the way for a second. I've just taken the little lid off it. So all I'm going to do is put it across like that and screw the lid back on. So you just got to make sure it's positioned back where it belongs, and it's clip it back in and then screw it back in. And then this will hold the ribbon in. I'm not having to glue, I'm not having to do anything like that. I can just unscrew it when it's all set up and take the ribbon out. Just make sure that's screwed in there properly, not too tight. And just give it a bit of a pull out. And then all I did before was just tie it around the stick. Okay. I'll make sure the stick is even. Make sure it's pretty tight. Get that in there with my nails. Okay. Now, I should be able to just sit this where I need it to be. I'm pretty sure we worked out that it needs to be up here in the head part. It needs to be about there because then it'll shine right up in there. And it sits on there beautifully. It's going to sit in where it needs to be in the resin. And then I'll position it when I put the resin in there. So I'm just going to sit them there, and I will just get organised and we will try and put these in. Okay, I've just brought you down a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing properly. So I've got my UV light already set up and turned on to the side. I just have one that attaches to my bench, just a round one. I've given my little squidgies a bit of a spray with alcohol. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just work out first where I'm going to put this, because I'm going to put this little squidgy one in first. And I'm going to try and get him sort of so that his eyes are in the top above the eyes here. So the other day I could actually see where he was. I don't know whether you can see, but you can see the eyes. So I want to get him about there, but between the two eyes there. So I'll just have to like maneuver him around. Probably about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe put just a bit of UV resin on him, because then I can put him in there, because it doesn't matter if I get the UV resin, because like it will just set up anyway. So I'm going to just try and get him positioned right, and then drop him in there, and then just going to turn him over and he's down a little bit low. So he's going to try and lift him up. Where's his eyes? To feel the eyes. Right, I can see one eye. I think he needs to go sort of sideways. Sort of, I don't know whether you can see in there. You probably can't because my hand will be in the way. Alright, lucky for fingernails because I can actually maneuver him. Just need to move him over a smidge more. Nearly got him. Get his tail around a bit more. I think I might actually have him where I want him to go. Sort of, his eyes are between the eyes on my little walrus here. So what I might do is, might just lift him up because he just needs to be stuck down just in one spot really, so that he doesn't lift up, because these float. They definitely float. Alright, so squeezed a bit in there. Just going to push it down, squidgy him into the edge. I think I just moved him. I did. Moved him. Because now the UV resin is making him slippery. Well, nearly got him. I think I've just about got him. Need to move him over a smidge more. Right, I'm going to keep playing with this and I'll be back. Okay, so he's in there. He's not going to move. I just set it on the light. And now we are going to... I've been told that we need the shark in about there. Move him over so you can see him. Move you closer to me so you can see it better. So we're going to just UV the tail, I think, and the fins. So I'm going to put a little bit on there, and then I'm going to put a bit on there. Don't know whether that'll work on those little thing there. And then we're going to just go, oh jeez. Yep, it would help if I put it up the right way. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Just see, wipe it all off. Give it a spray in the alcohol, just wipe it off. Get rid of that. Just give him a little bit of a pat dry. Now, he needs to be this way. This way. So, I need to do the tip of his tail. Get him in there. And then I need to do his little underneath fins and hopefully get him in there. So I'll give that a go. Just want to hold him. See if I can hold him in there. Need to hold his tail up. Need to hold that tail's going to be bent. Oh, look at that. No, you can't, I know you can't see it, but that is a working a treat. Yeah, it's got a bit of a bent tail, but that's alright. Maybe I should have just not stuck him down there. Get that under there. Get that in the sides. Hold him on the sides there. Okay. Let's put him on that side. I like this because I can just lift it up and move it out of the way. I don't have to keep turning it on and off. All there. Right, turn him over, move him out of the way. And he is stuck in there. Now we have a turtle. The turtle is going to go that way in the side there, I think. And then we were putting him in here somewhere as well. I might put him with his tail there, because then when the light is in there, the light will actually sit him in and push him in. Or we might have him on the side maybe. I might put his tail down a little bit lower and sort of have him hanging off the side, because then he will sort of sit up in there. So I'll put the turtle in first. Glue his, there we are. Stick him in there, make sure he's going the right way. I'm going to face him out that way. Get a light. I love these because these actually, some of these glow in the dark as well. So once they turn their little light off, these should glow, because this turtle's glowing beautifully. Just give it a bit of a push on the side, I think, just to get it in there. There we go. Love the way they stick. Beautiful. All right. Next, I reckon we might actually put our whale down there. So, get him on the head. A bit more. Sorry, I've got to make sure I'm doing it so that you can see it. I reckon he can go down here. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Get my light. Just hold him in there. Hopefully he will stay there. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Now, just make sure my light is going to still sit in there. Look at that. Awesome. Beautiful. Let's make sure he's all stuck. Put that in the top. Make sure we get them all. It's got the turtle glowing. We've got the, I think he's a walrus or something, the white one glowing. And the shark glows a bit. Beautiful. Alrighty, I'm going to set this next one up and then I'll come back. Alrighty, I have mixed up my resin. I am using a deep pour solid solutions. I've had it sitting here now for 10 minutes since I stopped stirring. I've actually got it on a little heater pad that it's meant to be a coffee cup heater, but doesn't do anything for them, so it doesn't even keep them lukewarm. So I thought I'd give it a try with my resin. So I've had it sitting there. I'm just going to lean across here and just grab out, there's just a little something in there. Just going to grab that out. Oopsie, there was a little black spot in there. I think I got it. Now, I am doing this outside, so I will get stuff in them. So I have actually got my food dehydrator sitting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour them in here. I'm going to sit them in my food dehydrator. I'm just going to put it on super low, about 35 degrees, so that it doesn't cook everything, but it helps this get a little bit warmer so that I can pour a little bit in it again later on. So I've put a tiny little bit of blue in there. It's just blue resin dye, and its fans are rich. And I got these from Amazon for a pack. So, all right then. So this looks really clear because I've had it sitting here. I haven't touched it. And it's not too hot. So I'm just going to maybe spray a little bit of alcohol. I've actually got these sitting on here already. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of alcohol in them. And just pour it in this one. Hopefully you can see me pouring. Just gently pour. Bubbles coming up under the crocodile. Get it in the tail. You can just see the blue in it. Alright, I'm going to pour in the head of this one. If you can see me. Let's get in the head. Make sure he's under our walrus in there. Try and get all the bubbles out of him. Now I'm hoping that his head's not going to be too deep and heat up too much. I just might have to put him up here and pour because it's actually making bubbles what I'm doing there. Okay, that one. Maybe I made up a little bit too much. Oh, that's better. I turned off my little heater thing. It takes up a lot of power on my power board. Bring that in there. Bring him up. And I will sit our little lights in there. Might actually, I can't put them in there with the sticks in it. Did not think that through. I might be able to. Doesn't matter if I leave the door open on it. I might, excuse me leaning over. I'm actually just going to cut this string off so that it doesn't get in the way. And we're going to pop that there like that. Try not to ruin our little squidgies. If I push that over there a little bit, sit that in the center there. That should be about perfect. Move him, there we go. Move him back a bit. About there, I should be able to still get the door closed. And where's our other one? Cut them off. That's just ribbon that I cut off some new pajamas that I bought the girls the other day. So we're going to just put him in the center. So I might just move him forward a smidge on my little rack. So that goes perfectly in there. So we'll sit that in the middle. Should be able to shut the door with that in there. Might move it forward a smidge again. That about there. Whoops, I keep moving it with my ring and not realizing. I think that's about centered. And he needs to be up the front so that we can see him glow. And there's a bit of resin on the thing, but that's fine, it'll hold the stick in. Move it back a smidge. About there, I think we need him. Now we're going to pour a little bit more in this one, because this can pour up to 5 centimeters. This resin. I was worried about my head heating up there. Get it a little bit round the shark. There we go. Get him to pour underneath our shark. Yeah, it's dripping down past him. We've got a few air bubbles around here. We don't really want to torch, so I might just get my little stick here. I'll just scrape. I don't really need to scrape it out because it is like water, really, isn't it? So I think that's all that I need out of that one. And just get rid of my ribbons so that they don't get in the way. And I've got one of these, and it used to have silicone on the end of it, and it was like one of those little pickup tools. Well, the silicone come off because it's pretty old, so what I thought I might do is use it as a bubble thing for the minute, to just pop some bubbles. Just pop them up, just draw them up, the light there. I was actually going to spray the lights, but I forgot. Just pull those bubbles up. They're coming up quite well. Quite easy, actually. Super easy. There's a couple more around this side. Hopefully you can see in there. Bring you down a little bit. There we go. Now you can see what I'm seeing. See some more bubbles in there. I think they're sort of coming out of his little squidgies. Just pop them. It's popping them quite easy. See? Oh, I've got a bit of resin on there. I'm sure I'll be able to wipe it off later on anyway. Okay. I will just get a little tiny bit of paper towel. Just go like that. Just roll it up. Spray it with a bit of alcohol. And just get that in there and wipe that off. That should be right, as long as it doesn't go in his little hole there. Just pick it up again. Give it a wipe. Now, hopefully he'll be set even. He looks like he's not quite right. Seems to be lower on one side, like just by, 2 mils. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick, nope. Stick this in there if it's going to, oops. Just roll that in there. And that'll make it tight on the stick then. Beautiful, perfect. Stick him back in there. Okay. Get him in the center. Beautiful. This one's alright. Yep, because he was quite tight. I'm just going to get rid of that resin off it. Make sure there's none on the top of it. Get that off. There we go. Stick that back on there. Beautiful. Right then, I am going to just let these sit for a couple of hours, and I'm going to put them in here and just like warm them up a little bit, and like make sure I'm not cooking my squidgies. And then I will do another layer, and then I will come back when it's time to demold. Okay, it's the next day. I've had them sitting in my warmer here overnight. It's not quite full around the edges, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of Platinum 360 in there. I'm pretty sure it sets up in about 2 hours, but I will put it back in my warmer. When I come out to do the top layer last night, I had a thought that I'm not sure whether I mixed up the ratios of the bottom piece right. It feels hard, so we'll have to see. So it looks like I've got a line in it. Hopefully I don't have a line. Maybe that's the difference between the previous pour, and hopefully it's not soft. Like, it feels hard. So I've mixed this up. I've had it sitting for about probably 10-15 minutes. I actually went and made myself a cup of coffee while the bubbles, because I did stir it a little bit too vigorously. I needed a debubbler. It would be so much easier. So I'm just going to quickly hit the top of this with the heat gun, because I don't want to torch the little things in it. Just to get a few more of those bubbles out. I've just got just a cheap packet of sparkles. I don't even know where they come from. They come in something that I was sent. So I thought that maybe that might look nice. So I'm going to just pour it in the top. Try not to get it on the little thing. Hopefully I do have enough bits of sparkle in there. I just thought that would just add to how it shines of a night time. Right, I think I'm going to have way too much by the looks of it. Just pour that in there. I think it's given it a bit of a tinge of blue, because I did put a little bit more blue in this top coat. Let's go in the little clippers. Just slowly going to just drip it in there. So I made up 40 of part A and 20 of part B. Right. That looks pretty good. Just give it a bit of a dome. Make sure it's not going to pour into that. I was going to sit it in my warmer, but I think I might just cover it and just leave that until it sets a little bit, because I do not want that running into my thing after all that work. And I definitely made up way too much. Oh, get that out, get that out. Just dropped it into the little on-off switch. Sorry, I'm just going to get a bit of cloth. I hate to not to be able to turn it on after all that work. Just going to spray it with a bit of alcohol. Get that off there. Just going to just spray. Probably not the best idea to be spraying it with alcohol, but I'm going to just turn it on for a second and try and get that out. And I put the thing in there. Right. I've got it. I'm just going to get the end of this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Give it a spray and just get it in there. This is what not to do. You need to make like a little disc thing that goes over the top of these. Turn them up. Because the alcohol in there that I've sprayed in there will evaporate. Just drop it. Spray it around it. There we go. Now, hopefully we've got all that. Hopefully. Right, we'll see. There we go. So, just get a little bit more, try and get a bit more of this paper in there. Give it a bit of a dome. Try and keep on the edges this time. Okay. Get that paper off. Now, I'm just going to bend down here and just see what I can see. Whoops. Oh my God. Seriously. Now, if I don't touch that, I might be able to get away with that. A bit more of this paper over here. Let's try and get some of the paper out. Just drop it in there. And where's my stick? Here's my stick. Watch what I'm doing. Oh, I have just picked up the wrong end of the stick. Of course I did. Of course I did. Always. Wipe my hands. I'm just going to check the top of that. I'm just worried about it just pouring into that tiny bit there. Just give this a little bit more in there. Just try and drag a bit more of that paper out. Just bring it around. I don't want to break the edge of that. Just the tiniest bit more in there. Right, now a little bit more in that bit there because you can see that it's not quite full. And I think we're good because I will put little sticky dots underneath them as well to hold them up in case they're not quite level. Right, if I touch that, that's all going to overflow everywhere, so just the touch more. Okay. And then that. Put the paper over that side. Get that on there. Get on there. Alright. We are doming beautifully, and I am going to grab my little shape there. Oopsie, I'm just going to give it a bit of a wipe out first, or a bit of a dust. As per usual, it had a sparkle in it. Just pour that in there. Just get rid of the rest of that resin. I have these little things all over my house because the shape means something. I need to actually get my the little photo that I took of the meaning of what these shapes mean. If you have them around your house, it means like it's good karma or something to have all these little shapes. Meant to make you feel good. I will get that out and have a look. Right, dripped a bit, but it doesn't matter. Rightio. Right, I'm going to keep filling this. I'm going to make sure that these are all good, and then we'll be back. Okay, I'm back. It's time to demold. So I mold the baby first. Pull him back, and he just pulls out very easily. Chuck him over there. That's pretty cool. Lots of bubbles, but it adds to the character in this one as I drop it. So these shapes are meant to promote good karma. So that's that done. A little bit sunk, but I think they look really cool when it sits up like that. So I do really need a debubbler. So right, I'm going to try this one first. Try and get it off first. Hopefully it's not soft, but I'm pretty sure I've got a line because I got to these a little bit too late and the bottom had already set, so it wasn't tacky. So I'm gonna go, I think, and maybe I'll pull his head out first. Might be a bit easier. Try and get that under there. Oh, look. Oh, my God. I was rushing this last night, so I do have some bubbles, but I can see the line. But I don't think the girls are going to care. Yeah, pop him out. Pop his tail out. Give it a pop. Feels a bit sticky. There we go. How cool is that? My bench must be a bit dirty. There we go. What did I just get on there then? I'll just spray my finger with a bit of alcohol and just wipe that off. So I reckon I might do like a clear coat over the top of him because it does feel a bit sticky, and that is, I think, because I don't know that I mixed it properly. But then, oh, I know what it's probably from, the UV resin. So I might stick it out in the sun because I might have got UV resin on the sides because his tail's not sticky. So our little duck's in there, in his little mouth, and our crocodile is under there. He's got one air bubble and that's it. And then our crab up there in the back near the tail. Beautiful. And if I don't point the line out to the girls' eye, hopefully they won't notice the line. So gorgeous. And look, hopefully can you see the sparkle? Yeah, there's lots of bubbles down there. And that's because I was out here in the dark. But He's very cool. If I'm worried about it, I can just put a coat of UV resin over it. You're not going to see that line. I think he's pretty cool. Right. Next. So, right. Pull that down. I have got a bit of overflow because when I sat it in my little food dehydrator, it wasn't quite level. Just make sure you can see what I'm doing. So just pick those bits off. They're easy enough to come off without cutting myself. So I'm going to pull that like that. Let the air in it. Definitely got overflow there. Pop that off. Pop his little fin off this side. Pop that out. Get him up there. If I hold that, I should be able to just pop him out, get the air in his head. Pop his little fin out there. That's got a bit of air in him. Okay. Fingernails under it without scratching him. Oh, something just cracked in there. Don't know what that was. Maybe it's the UV resin on my little animal that's in there. Sorry, I know you can't see me. I had it up against my chest. Alright. Pull. Yep. I think the UV's cracking. It's just got to get him over. I set it down there like that and pull it up. The sides are quite soft where I've put the little animals in there. Can feel them cracking as I'm doing it. So I think I will have to put a bit of a top coat on it. Just can't get his head to pop out. Oh, got him. Oh, yeah, see, look what I've done. Oh. It actually squidges out of the hole. You can see it. It squidges. That's actually pretty cool when it does that. So I might just maybe put a top coat over him. Just pull that bit off. I love how it squeezes it out of it. I wonder if you could keep it like that, but I doubt it. So, okay, these are all done. They're all dried. I put a top coat of resin over the top of them. I didn't get rid of that line, but like I'm sure that the little girls, they won't mind. I poured a top coat and then I put some UV resin over the top of it, and then I actually poured another top coat, so that's all nice and solid now. And then I did the same with this one, so it's had a coat and then it had UV resin over the top of it, so that is super hard now. And then we've had a coat over the top of that, so it's got all the little bits at the bottom, but I'm actually going to use them as little feet instead of having to put the little sticky things on. They're all even, they're not sharp, so they're all done. And just turn my little lights on so that you can see them. Turn off a couple of lights here. Look at that, they glow beautifully. And like you can see the little ducky and the crocodile and the crab and the walrus. You can see the little eyes between the eyes there. and my whale, my shark, and my turtle. Alrighty, so thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. What else can I do with squidgies? Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.